Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares. And it's Saturday. Slashback Saturday. This is a segment my very good friend Joe, the Horror Man, came up with, where we watch a slasher film based on a certain theme that he comes up with. And then we do a short review. This week's theme is clowns or carnivals. Or clowns and carnivals. This week, Joe picked, and I'll explain. Out of the Dark. A little story first. Joe and I talk a lot during the week, most weeks. We even have some three-way calls between me, him, and Brad. So we're always keeping in touch and seeing what's going on in each other's lives. Well, a while back, I'd had a conversation with him that I had picked up Shadow Stalkers. This was quite some time ago. And asked him about Out of the Dark. He kind of told me a little bit about it, just a little bit about the basic plot. And I said, it looks like a clown slasher. Would that be cool? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, I'll wait until that theme is picked before I review this film and, watch it. Because I'd never seen it before. So, when he picked this week's theme, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do, because I'd actually forgotten completely about our conversation at that point. And he said, why don't you do Out of the Dark? You said you were saving it for this specific challenge. And I said, okay, that's it. So, basically, Joe picked my Slashback this week. Now, Out of the Dark is a 1988 film, which runs approximately 89 minutes, and is directed by Michael Schroeder. Now, this stars Cameron Dye as Kevin Silvers. He was in Valley Girl, The Last Starfighter, and Fraternity Vacation, one of my favorites. It also stars Jeffrey Lewis as Dennis. Unfortunately, he passed away on April 7th, 2015, at the age of 79. He was in The Butcher, The Devil's Rejects, Wicked Little Things, Salem's Lot, and Any Which Way and Every Which Way But Loose. This has Karen Black as Ruth Wilson. Unfortunately, she passed away on August 8th, 2013, at the age of 74. Now, she was in Ooga Booga, Burnt Offerings, House of a Thousand Corpses, and Trilogy of Terror. And Tracy Walter as Lieutenant Frank Myers. He was in 31, Alice Kills, Trailer Park of Terror, and The Hand. But I actually remember him best as Frog from a show that I used to watch every week when I was a little kid called The Best of the West. It was like a comedy western. This also stars Karen Lorre as Joanne. She was in Hero in the Terror, The Vineyard, and Buried Alive. Now, this had a budget of $1.6 million, and it brought in a little over $400,000. So this, I guess, was a major bomb. Now, Divine is actually in this film from the Roger Waters films. Very small part. Was one of the police detectives. And at the end, because Divine passed away, this was dedicated to Divine. And it was her last movie. He, or she, played Detective Langella. Now, this movie has gone basically unnoticed, and I cannot understand why. I was talking to Joe about this the other day, and I don't understand it. This is a really, really good slasher film. Granted, in the first 20 minutes, I knew who the killer was, but it didn't take away from my enjoyment of the film. Now, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, if you like the film or if you don't, this is pretty much the only way you can get it, unless you buy a made-on-demand DVD of it. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because this is actually a Mill Creek 10-pack of movies. The movies that are on here are as follows: Out of the Dark, which I just reviewed, Happy Birthday to Me, Eyes of Laura Mars, Don't Answer the Phone, Nightmare in Wax, Bloody Pit of Horror, Silent Night, Bloody Night, Funeral Home, Don't Open Till Christmas, and it's supposed to be The Driller Killer. Now here's the thing. These were recalled because Mill Creek put the wrong movie on here for The Driller Killer. This does not have that movie. It has Drive-In Massacre instead. The last time I looked, I should have done research before I did this, but the last time I looked, it was still available on Amazon for $9.99. I cannot say if it still is or not. Yeah, I was supposed to look that up, and I forgot. So, if you do get a chance, and if you want to pick this up, specifically for Out of the Dark, I would research Amazon. As far as the transfers are concerned, to give you a little bit of background on this, Out of the Dark looks fantastic. Happy Birthday to Me looks flawless. Eyes of Laura Mars looks great. The Bloody Pit of Horror looks passable. Don't Answer the Phone, decent. Nightmare in Wax, decent. Silent Night, Bloody Night is, of course, an awful print of that. Funeral Home is mildly passable. Don't Open Till Christmas, not very good. And, of course, the Drive-In Massacre, instead of the Driller Killer, is not that great either. So, you know, if you want it for Out of the Dark, definitely pick it up. If you're looking for just for something to have fun with, just keep in mind that the Driller Killer is not exactly on this set. It is replaced by the Drive-In Massacre. As far as like a brief synopsis, a guy in a clown mask named Bobo is stalking phone sex operators and prostitutes and killing them. And that's basically your story in a nutshell. So, I really liked Out of the Dark. I think it's extremely underrated. If I had seen it before I made my underrated film list, this might have actually made the list. So, if that says anything. But definitely check out Joe's video for our theme for the upcoming week. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.